My wife goes to Vikings games, and when everybody's trying to get to their seats before the game, the hallways on the sides are just not wide enough.
Right.
That's about the only thing I can nitpick about that place.
And they're wide, but they're not wide enough for 60,000 people. That's it. That's it.
Let's get to some nice coaching stories.
Yeah, I'm always intrigued, Jim, by high school coaches. There's just always great things going on. And Bold, when they lost in their state championship game, that was the end of their line for Steve Solom, the Warriors coach for 33 years. Just a nice man, a heck of a guy. And he had announced earlier that this was going to be his last year before he goes down into retirement. And 33 years at one place, that's a great run. He did win 2 state championships. This year's runner-up finish was the 4th under his tutelage with Bold, which I'll remind people, Bold stands for Bird Island, Olivia, Lake Lillian District. That's what Bold is. That's in southwest Minnesota. And Steve talked about, his life after coaching. He's got grandkids. He's got 2 sons who coach high school football. His son Grant is the head coach at Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial, and his son Trevor's an assistant at Minnewaska. And as he put it, I've got a daughter who raises cows, so I might help her out too. And Monoman Waban, their coach, John Clark Jr. This is a really, really great coaching family. So his father, John Clark Sr., who everybody calls Bomber, Bomber Clark, he coached for more than four decades, and he was the head coach at Waban for 20 years. And then the other son, Paul, was Waban's head coach for 10 years. So, and all 3 are now coaching together. John Clark Jr.'s the Monoban Waban head coach, his brother Paul, and his dad Bomber are assistants. So I went through and found their coaching record. So between the 3 of them, it's 48 seasons as head coaches, 362 wins, 154 losses. I'm not sure any coaching family can top those numbers. And we go back to the semifinals when the team from Piers got knocked out. A couple days after that, Leo Polkamp, the coach there, announced he was retiring also after 33 years. And Leo's just a great guy. He's a Hall of Famer. I know him a little bit. I went up to Piers a couple years ago to watch some wrestling. So here comes Leo wearing that big smile he's famous for, delivering me some gifts. He's got me a Piers football hat, which I wear proudly, and a bag of meat. And all I will say, a bag of meat from Thielen Meat Market in Piers.
Awesome.
All I will say is I still have the hat. Some of the meat was consumed on the ride home, and the rest of it didn't last long. But great coaches there, 33 years for Leo and Steve at Bold, and great guys. One more coaching note. This is a remarkable story. Barnesville is coached by Brian Strand. This guy has lived some kind of life this year. Suffered a stroke in March, a bad stroke. Walked with a cane, a lot of rehab, wasn't allowed to drive for a long time, but he was ready when football practice started. But his health situation really has not been resolved this week. He's having heart surgery. Because they discovered the reason for the stroke, there was a tiny hole in the back of his heart.
Oh, good
so
Lord.
He's looking forward to getting this done because he's been worried about having another stroke. He's only 45 years old. So he told me how lucky he feels, and it's amazing. He was wearing their colors are basically purple and white. So during these games at the stadium, Brian was wearing a red hat, which didn't fit. And it turns out it's a hat from Carlin High School in Nevada. And he's got a college teammate from Mayville State, Myron Branning, who's the high school coach out there at Carlin, who has been diagnosed with ALS. And these guys are so close. So Brian was wearing his friend's team's hat at the semifinals in the Prep Bowl. So all good wishes to Brian Strand and his family. I think he had the surgery yesterday, if I recall. No, maybe it's a week from. Maybe it's next Monday. Maybe Brian hasn't had it yet. But good luck to Brian. Wonderful story to get his team this far after everything they've been through. And I asked some of his players about when you talk about inspiration, seeing your coach in the hospital, seeing your coach walk with a cane, have speech problems and memory problems, but then come back and be ready to go. That's a really neat story. So all the best to everybody in Barnesville.
Absolutely. What do you want to do next? We got.
I got a little short notes about the Prep Bowl. We use replay at the Prep Bowl, which is not new. We've been doing this for years, and it works great. It's all done upstairs. We have a guy on the sidelines with a headset to the crew upstairs. So if he steps out on the field, the official stops everything and announces the play is being reviewed. All touchdowns are reviewed. Really works great, really slick. Most of the time, you don't even know what's happening. It goes so fast. Here's a great small town story. Mountain Lake senior Reagan Syverson. So all he did over the semifinal weekend, played center for the football team in the 9-man state semifinals, got home Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, he played the lead role in the school play, high school musical.
I love
How about
stories
that?
like this.
Isn't that awesome? Here, this was maybe the wildest thing I saw. So the Owatonna St. Thomas Academy game, it's the last 2 minutes of the game. I'm down on the sidelines. There's a TV timeout. I see one of the officials. I'm 10 yards off the sideline. I'm kind of back a ways. One of the officials is sprinting right at me off the field. I thought, oh no, is he going to tackle me? What is it? And he pulls up, puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "I love your Twitter page, John."
Oh, that's awesome.
I just started to laugh. I said, "Get back on the field. The game isn't over." That's nice, but that's good to hear. You could have waited till after the game. You could have found me then. But that was funny.
Tell people where to find you on Twitter.
At mshsl-John.
There you go.
Yep.
Excellent. That it for the Prep Bowl notes?
That's it.
Okay, let's do the Sack Hunger
campaign.
campaign.
We're wrapping up the Sack Hunger campaign in conjunction with Second Harvest Heartland, the way this worked, and we talked about this before. All 28 teams that came to the state semifinals were invited to collect food donations, and let's feed people in your own communities, your own parts of the state. So this is the final week of that. I sent out reminders on Twitter and Facebook to all the schools. I know some of the schools are really doing a great job with this, so I can't wait to see how much we raise. And I will close things here, Jim, with a note about one of my best buddies in the world up in Brainerd. Mike Bialka is the sports editor at the Brainerd Dispatch. He texted me yesterday. The dude's retiring after only 40 years at the Brainerd newspaper, and Mike has just been the epitome of talent and class and hard work. He just covers everything up there, Brainerd and all those schools around. He's a Brainerd graduate. He played baseball there. Was a multi-sport athlete. So I'm going to write a John's Journal story about Mike here in the coming days. Just really one of the greatest guys. Even if he wasn't in the same business we were in, I just think the world of this guy. And I know his wife retired. She's an educator. She retired a couple years ago, so he's looking forward to this. And Mike Bialka in Brainerd, we love you, brother. Good luck.
I have a final thought on that, and I'm sure you have a final thought as well. Let's thank gourmetparlorpizza.com. Go to the website, beautiful website, and they can tell you how to work with them on fundraising or how to find their pizza if you just want good pizza. Again, they do have gluten-free crust too, which is key in my world. Again, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com if you'd like to reach our audience with your advertising. Thanks to Brandon Morton. And again, download before you listen. As a sports writer, John, as you know, you run into people, you tell you what they do, and they go, "Oh, you get to talk to the players. You get to talk, you get to be in the stadium." And those are cool things. Yeah. But the most rewarding thing about our job is meeting other journalists.
It is. It absolutely is. And I know all these guys from around the state, radio guys, newspaper guys. That is one of the greatest things because we don't see each other.
Right.
Maybe state tournaments is our reunion time, and just they're great. Twitter has really helped connect.
Yeah.
You see. We all follow each other on Twitter. We know what we're up to. We give each other a hard time. But, it's great to get in the press box at U.S. Bank Stadium, see all these guys and slap each other on the back and how you doing, how's the family. Remember that time we sat in that little tiny press box at that game and it was cold and wet and whatever. And it's really great, Jim. You're right. That is the greatest part of what we get to do.
So check out John's work at mshsl.org. Find all of our podcasts. We do pretty much everything you would want to hear at talknorth.com. And we do appreciate our listeners and our sponsors. Thanks again to Gourmet Parlor Pizza. We'll talk to you soon.
Attention business owners and managers. Are you overwhelmed by digital marketing? Are you serious about making 2019 different? Glory Ramsey and Successful Marketing Group want you to blow the doors off 2019 and double your business growth this year. Get started now with a free 45-minute audit and action plan. Glory will personally evaluate your business and create an action plan you can start now. Go to successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. Don't let 2019 start without you.